Tonight on the Night Team. A deadly 24 hours in Kentuckiana. 4 people dead and 5 others injured.
Things do not happen and we can live in a peaceful manner.
How the city of Louisville is planning to address the onslaught of gun violence. Plus an officer who put himself in harm's way to protect and serve the city of Louisville. Officer Nick Wilt is honored 1 year after he was shot in the head while responding to the Old National Bank mass shooting. And later, a new generation of graduates is entering the world.
Graduation was awesome, and I'm really excited for this next chapter.
We are hearing from U of L grads, the impact COVID had on their education, and how they're looking forward to the future. The WHAS11 Night Team starts right now. A violent 24 hours in the metro. 5 separate shootings, leaving 3 people dead and 5 people injured. It's our top story here on the Night Team. I'm Alex Dieterer. The most recent shooting happened in the Beachmont neighborhood. LMPD responded to reports of a person down by the railroad tracks along Almond Avenue and Louisville Avenue. You can see right here. That came just after 6. When officers arrived, they found the body of a man who had been shot multiple times. A few hours earlier, police responded to South Hale Avenue near South 17th Street to reports of a shooting. When officers arrived, they found a man inside of a car with multiple gunshot wounds. The man was taken to the hospital where he is expected to survive. The carnage truly began just past 11:30 last night with a shooting in the Taylorberry neighborhood. A few hours later, police were called to the edge of the Auburndale neighborhood. Then, an hour before sunrise, as the night was wrapping up in the Southland Park neighborhood, gunfire broke out inside the hotspot. 4 people were shot, 2 were killed. WHAS 11's Connor Steffen sat down with the Metro Council member Khalil Batshon, who represents the district, and talked about the steps he's taking to prevent future incidents.
Officers found a man shot dead as well as 2 other victims injured. First responders took the 2 victims, 1 man and 1 woman, to U of L Hospital, where the man eventually died. Shortly after, LMPD says another man arrived at the hospital saying he was shot at the same club.
First and foremost, I grieve for the people that have lost their families and loved ones.
District 25 Metro Councilman Khalil Batson says the business stayed open past 4 a.m. and had previously been cited by the Louisville Alcoholic Beverage Control for noise violations and smoking violations. This is the latest shooting at a Louisville nightlife location since 1 man died in a shooting at the Highlands Cafe 360 earlier this year. In the aftermath, Metro Council passed an ordinance allowing Louisville ABC to issue the emergency suspension of licenses.
Metro Council and the ABC are working aggressively to start knocking this out. Unfortunately, this is the one that it had to take to see where those actors are.
WHAS reached out to Louisville ABC officials who say the incident is still being investigated. Louisville ABC has issued an emergency suspension of the Hotspot's liquor license. In accordance with the law, the location may remain open, but the trafficking, sale, and consumption of alcohol is prohibited.
I am very empathetic to the lives lost. It is sad and unfortunate that we are having issues like this.
Emergency license suspensions are allowed in cases where public safety is at risk. A suspension hearing for the licensee will take place within 3 days of the action.
I just want everybody to just bear with LMPD and ABC as they work diligently and aggressively with us in the Metro Council.
Owners with the restaurant could not be reached for comment. In Louisville, Connor Steffen, the WHAS 1119 on your side.
LMPD's homicide unit is leading this investigation. There are currently no known suspects, and police are asking for the public's help. Anyone with information regarding the case is asked to call the LMPD anonymous tip line. That number is right here on your screen. It's 502-574-5673 or LMPD. You can also use LMPD's crime tip portal online. LMPD is also investigating after a man was shot by police last night in PRP. Police say they were called to Crawford Avenue right off Dixie Highway just before 11 last night. When officers arrived, they found a man wielding a knife who came towards officers. Police say they tried several times to get the man to drop the knife, including using non-lethal methods, but officers could not stop the man from coming towards them with the knife. 3 officers opened fire on the man and hit him multiple times. However, police say the man was still keeping officers at bay with the knife. Eventually, officers were able to get the knife away from the man and render aid. The man was taken to the hospital alert and conscious, but his condition is unknown at this time. Linden police are investigating after a deadly shooting on Doncaster Way near Vermissa Court. Linden Police Chief Robert Schroeder says they responded to the shooting at about 5:30 this evening. When officers arrived, they found a man who had been shot multiple times. He was pronounced dead on the scene. LMPD's homicide unit will be handling the investigation. The two men accused in connection with the death of a 21-year-old shot inside Cafe 360 on Bardstown Road at the beginning of March appeared in court this morning. After the shooting, the business gave up its liquor license for a short time. 25-year-old Marquise Ward is charged with murder and robbery, and 22-year-old Dante Smith is charged with assault and robbery in connection to the shooting from March 3rd. According to court documents, Smith and Ward were arguing with another man when Theodore Brown Jr. tried to intervene. Police say Ward pulled out his gun and shot Brown once in the head. Smith and Ward then stole guns from Brown and the other man they were arguing with. Court documents say this was all caught on video surveillance. Both Ward and Smith are being held on a $250,000 bond and are expected back in court on the 20th. It has now been more than a year since a gunman opened fire inside Old National Bank, killing 5 people. Further deaths were prevented by the quick and heroic actions of LMPD officers like Officer Nick Wilt, who was shot in the head while responding to the mass shooting. Since then, Wilt has made a remarkable recovery, and today his family was honored at an event to promote brain health. Wilt's family, in partnership with the Brain Injury Alliance of Kentucky, hosted a run, walk, and roll today at EP Tom Sawyer Park. The annual event is put on to help those who have been impacted by traumatic brain injury. This year's event was extra special because Officer Wilt acted as chair of the race.
We have so many people that do support this cause. So many people are affected by brain injury, and they're here supporting those people that they care for.
The Kentucky Traumatic Brain Injury Trust Fund estimates that 35,000 Kentuckians are affected by brain injury each year. That is double the national average. Proceeds from today's event go directly to that fund. Louisville's Department of Corrections took today to give back to the community, heading to Wayside Christian Mission to clean up the playground area and help to spruce it up. LMDC says they do this every year as a way of helping out their neighbors.
Oh, it feels great. Everybody leaves, with a little warmth in their heart and giving back on folks that are less fortunate than us.
If you want to help out, Wayside Christian Mission says it's always in need of volunteers to serve at local shelters. The U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development has responded to potential plans to demolish and relocate the residents at Doker Manor. This week, the head of Louisville Housing Authority, Elizabeth Strojan, told Metro Council that renovating the apartment complex, which was built back in the 1960s, would not be ideal. She said the best path forward would be to tear down the buildings and start over. Strojan said either way, residents would need to be relocated by the end of the year. Federal Housing and Urban Development said they are working closely with Louisville's Housing Authority to provide assistance as the departments try to address conditions at Doker Manor. In a statement, they said, quote, should the choice be made to demolish or dispose of the development, the Housing Authority must submit a formal application to HUD for thorough review and approval. Any proposed action at Doker Manor that requires moving of the residents must include a detailed relocation plan that is also reviewed by HUD, end quote. Well, it is that time of year. It is graduation season. To date, thousands of University of Louisville graduates participated in commencement ceremonies. And for a lot of them, this was the first time they were able to actually walk into graduation because of COVID restrictions when they graduated high school back in 2020. And for the ones we spoke with today, they were pretty excited about it.
Bringing everyone together, celebrating people's achievements. We worked hard for it, we deserve it.
More than 2,000 University of Louisville graduates walked across the stage at the KFC Yum Center, celebrating the start of their future.
It's been a journey, especially starting during COVID. Just you're first in your dorms and you have to have masks on, and it's hard to make friends, and then just growing through, getting new friends, trying new things. I went from not being too involved and then being a TA and a student success ambassador. So it was a long journey, but I'm happy I'm here.
For most of the 2024 graduates, it was their first time walking for graduation after COVID moved their 2020 high school graduations online or found other ways to distance.
We had a car parade. Yeah. So we're all in a car.
Graduates finally able to celebrate their achievements together in person.
Well, I think it's important to have that one event where you're like the center of the attention and not just like an online Zoom graduation, but like this is like in person.
I got to actually walk with one of my friends. He was one part of the 2020 class, and for him it was a cool experience because he didn't get to experience it in high school, but I did. So it's my second graduation, luckily. So I'm just really happy to be able to be a part of that.
And already looking to when the next graduation will be.
Like as a parent, like hopefully one day I can come back and see my kids going through the same thing. And maybe one day he will.
Yeah, well, maybe I will soon too.
More than 2,000 of the 3,100 U of L students who applied for degrees and certificates participated in commencement ceremonies today. Another big congratulations to all of the U of L grads today.